fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we're going to be discussing everything that you need to know about the new Ensley Reign Light in Your Eyes collection. So this is beautiful. We've got a 21 pan eyeshadow palette, a blush, a highlighter, and a lip gloss. This whole collection is going to be launching November 29th, and it's really beautiful. So today we're going to be going through live swatching everything. We're gonna apply it, test it out, and then at the end I will give you my final first impression thoughts. I do have a affiliate code with Ensley Reign, so if you are ever interested in purchasing anything from their website, you can use my code AMYLOVES to save a little bit of money off. I really appreciate your support, and I hope that this video will help you decide if this collection is worth your money. So without any further ado, let's jump on in. Let me show you what we've got. So the eyeshadow palette looks like this. She is definitely a very beautiful neutral palette with a little bit of color, a little bit of grunginess, but I feel like my neutral lovers are going to really enjoy this one, and the shimmers look beautiful. Specifically this shade right here, Lucid Shine, it looks like it's two multi-chromes, like kind of half panned. Super pretty. Prismatic Glow, Endless Light, just so cute. So this is 21 palettes and it has, wait, it is 21 pans. Goodness gracious. So we've got 10 different shimmers here. It says it's going to be a mix of holochromes, duochromes, and some spicy neutrals. We also have 11 buildable mattes, and this is going to be retailing for $75. Then we also have the Prismatic Marbled Highlighter, which does look really beautiful. This is going to be retailing for $24. There's also a neutral blush. Again, same packaging, just a matte finish. And this one is going to be retailing for $9. And then lastly, we've got the lip gloss, classic Ensley Reign packaging. This is going to be $14. And then they're also going to be selling the entire collection all together, which I do enjoy the fact that this collection is a little bit smaller, a little bit more curated. So that full collection is going to be retailing for $115, but it has a value of $127. So just something to keep in mind. And it does come in like the cute little gift box that you guys saw in the beginning. And I think that is officially enough yapping. Let's start swatching. I just realized I have like a super bubbly Sprite sitting next to me, and I feel like you guys might be able to hear that. So I moved it, but let's start off with this highlighter just because I am very excited to swatch it. You can definitely see some shifts. Mostly I'm seeing yellow, green, orange, and purple just from the packaging. Okay, it is a little bit chunky, but also very creamy. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of blend that in a little bit. Definitely a really beautiful multi-chrome glow. For me, this type of product I use more on my eyes than anything, so it's not always worth it, the price tag, just because I'm not really going to use this as a highlighter. I'll probably only use just a little tiny bit of it, but I feel like if you are into a multi-chrome highlighter, you can't deny that it's beautiful. And then next for the blush shade, just looks like a really beautiful kind of spicy orange. Oh yeah, it's very pretty. Definitely giving fall vibes. Okay. Oh yeah, very creamy. Very smooth on the skin. Kind of has like a spicy peachy tone. And then for the lip gloss, it's just called Light in Your Eyes. They don't have any specific name. They're just all the name of the collection. Oh, okay. So it is very opaque. I thought for some reason it was going to be more sheer. But you can see it as a really beautiful, just kind of satin, rosy pink tone. We'll definitely put that on the lips at the end of the video. So for the palette, I think I am going to go ahead and swatch all of the shimmers together and then all of the mattes together, just because I really enjoy doing that with Ensley Reign's palettes, especially just focusing on the shimmers for a minute because they are so beautiful. So first of all, we have the shade Lucid Shine, which kind of looks more like a green duochrome-ish shade on the left, and then on the right it looks more of like an orange, gold, red, sparkly multi-chrome. I think I'm just gonna swatch it together. because like realistically that's just what I will probably do. Kind of looks like a chunky multi-chrome, but definitely you can see all the shifts happening. And then we've got the shade Besties, which is such a pretty bronzy sparkly shade. And then we've got Glimmer in Time, which looks like a true just super sparkly bronze. I feel like as a makeup lover, there's just nothing more fun than swatching special shadows. I mean, so pretty. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Has like a slightly purple undertone. Like I don't want to call it a purple shadow, but it definitely has some purple going on there. Okay, and then our traditional bronze. Look how pretty that multi-chrome looks. And then here's with my mirror, just so you can see how it reflects. We have the shade Eyes That Light Up. It's not a true gold. It kind of has that like platinum silvery look to it. I have a shade kind of similar in my palette, but I think mine might be just a touch less gold. We have Prismatic Glow. That one is super sparkly. That's definitely a holochrome. You've got a green base with like a purpley shift to it. And then of course, all of the rainbow sparkles. We have the shade Home, which, oh my gosh, such a pretty, deep, kind of green based bronzy shade. Super, super sparkly as well. Like just the amount of silver sparkles in that is so pretty. Ooh, that's gorgeous. Okay. And of course, the holochrome shade is even prettier in person. You can see very sparkly. Oh yeah, you can definitely see the holochrome, that one in the middle. Just a little bit more like, oh my goodness. Next we have the shade Head in the Sky, which is such a pretty, colorful pop in this palette. The texture of that one is more metallic and a little less like thick and sparkly like the other shimmers. We've got Endless Light, which is a super sparkly kind of taupey silver. MJ, which looks like a really pretty sparkly teal. Another little pop of color. And then just to finish off, let's do Radiant Soul. Do a good swatch since it's my pinky. That one, oh my gosh. That one is super creamy and it has a really beautiful green to gold to red flip. See how vibrant that is? The shine is just beautiful. I feel like if you love a cool tone neutral, there's a lot of super pretty options in here. Ooh, and that's pretty good for a pinky swatch. Wait, okay, I know it went out of focus, but look how cool that shade is. It's kind of sheer, but like super shifty. That would be such a fun topper shade. And then there's what all those look like on the fingers. I realized I forgot to pull my mirror for the last set, but just so you can see the shifts a little bit more. And there are all the shimmers swatched together. Sparkly is definitely my go-to adjective for this palette. Okay, now jumping into the mattes, we have Synchronicity, which just looks like a pale beige. We've got Sharing Space, which is a very soft gray. Soul Sisters, kind of just a neutral brown. Can definitely barely see those. They're just very pale. But they all feel pretty smooth. We've got Grounded, which is a deeper neutral brown. Beloved, which just looks like a kind of mid-tone gray. But I like that these grays don't have too much blue undertone to them. Once in a Lifetime, which just looks like a really stunning kind of eggplant, aubergine, purple type shade. Okay. Definitely some nice basic neutral mattes. Little pop of color there. We've got Feet on the Ground, which looks like a really pretty kind of Dijon-y, mustardy yellow. Passing of Time, which looks like a pretty mauve. And then Soul Sisters. Oh, we've got Soul Sisters again. Okay, so there's two shades named Soul Sisters. Just this brown and this kind of like gray tealy brown. I don't even know how to describe that shade. That looks pretty together. And we've got Naive Melody. Ooh, that's a really pretty kind of grungy yellow. You can see it does have a little bit of fallout. Obviously, it's a little powdery. It looks very pigmented, very intense. And then Girlfriend is Better. It's kind of just an olive green. Oh yeah, very, very pigmented yellow. Super smooth. That's so pretty. It's like got these grungy fall tones, but then also some really nice neutrals. I like it. And then obviously like this shade pretty much blends to my skin tone. So there is the entire eyeshadow palette swatched out together. You guys will have to let me know what you think. So far, I am very, very into this one. So let's get it on my face. I already primed my eyes with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and I think I'm going to start off with the lightest matte shade, Synchronicity. I don't know why that just feels so weird rolling off the tongue, but I'm going to just see what that looks like, how much it shows up on my skin tone. It might be a cute like little peachy transition shade, or it might just set my lid. So let's see. Okay, yeah. Very, very subtle, but going in with a shade like this can help for just a super soft, diffused look. So I'm just gonna match it on the other side anyways. Okay, next let's go into a little bit of sharing space. I'm kind of undecided on where exactly I'm going with this look thus far, but this just looks like a really pretty, soft, cool tone transition. So just throwing that on top. I'm sure if you went in with this by itself without going in with the beige first, it would be even more pigmented. That's fine. I kind of just want that really soft, diffused blend. And I am using, I have like almost all Singe Beauty brushes in front of me. So if you're seeing the cute little yellowy orange handles, it's Singe. Let's see, let's do something less basic. I think I'm gonna go into the mauve shade Passing of Time because it's swatched so pretty. So I'm gonna mostly focus that on my outer V just to pop the shade down, and then I'll kind of blend it into my crease a little bit. I am kind of going for more of a subtle look today. At least I think I am. We'll see how it ends up. Blending out super easy. I'm gonna attempt to just build that up a little bit just to see. Oh yeah, there you go. It's a really easy matte formula to work with. If you have green eyes, this tone of purple just brings them out so much. Just going in with my original fluffy brush, just right over the edge of that, just to make sure everything is as soft as I want it to be. But I think that looks super, super cute. I do want to deepen it up a little bit, so I am going to go into the shade Once in a Lifetime. And the really cute thing about this palette is that it is like best friend theme inspired. I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about my best friend, because I'm super grateful to have a friend who's been there through like all these different phases of my life as well. My best friend and I, technically we met at the end of 2nd grade, but we weren't friends. We didn't become friends until 7th grade. Many a years later, but she's still the person who's my go-to on my side. That is looking really cute as well. Kind of just spending time going back and forth between my brushes, making sure it's nice and soft, but I love the purple tones in here. So I think, let me see, I might even go in with just a little bit of that on my lower lash line, just kind of connecting the outer V with that last purple. I've been doing so much makeup recently where I don't do anything on the lower lash line that seeing something on my lower lash line again is kind of like not freaking me out, but it just feels different. It feels weird. It feels out of place. I think I'm gonna go into the shade Lucid Shine. Just gonna use it right in the middle. And this is with the Singe Beauty E01, which I love this brush for the inner corner. It is a little chunky, a little intense, so definitely go in with just a tiny bit. Less is more when it comes to these type of shadows. And then I think let's go into Besties, just because I said this has a little bit of a purple undertone. Just adding this to the blank space right here. Definitely adding some really beautiful sparkles. I love that too, because I feel like it's so sparkly you can see it from a distance. Like you don't have to be super up close to see how pretty the shadow is. Like obviously up close is even better, but all the way from back here, like my mirror, you know, it's like arm's length away from me. I'm like, I can still see the sparkles even in that tiny area. I think we should go in with this holographic shade right here just because it's so pretty, Prismatic Glow. I'm gonna use it on my finger. Even when I pick up on my finger, I do this. Like no fallout allowed. This is that super pretty holographic shade. Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. See, I told you we were doing subtle and it still doesn't even look subtle. That is stunning. I went in with such a small amount too. And might have got just a little tiny bit of fallout. So I might suggest either using a glitter primer, spraying your brush, because I am seeing just a little bit of action on my cheek, just kind of blending it in with my finger as well. But that is beautiful. I'm very happy with that. Oh, I even had an eyelash fall out. Maybe just to do one more shade, let's go into this deep brown right here, Grounded. And I'm just going to add a little bit of depth on the lash line, just helping my mascara along. I'm gonna go into the Lancome Lash Idol mascara and just coat my upper and lower lashes. Okay, let's go into this blush now, which honestly I feel like you could also use this in combination with anything in the eyeshadow palette as like a transition shade and just do a super cute matching moment, because I feel like this shade would look pretty with a lot of stuff that's going on here. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna talk the talk and walk the walk. I'm picking up just a tiny little bit of that and throwing it through my crease just to add a touch of that peachy tone. Realistically, I would do this a little bit lower normally, but I already have a lot of sparkle going on there, so I don't want to mess with that too much, but you see the difference, and I feel like it's going to match the cheek really well. Just the tiniest little amount. I'm going to go in with the N15 from BK Beauty. This just looks pretty pigmented, so I'll just take a little on my hand first, and then, oh yeah, definitely less is more if you have very fair skin, but that's okay because this is meant to be a universal blush, so I appreciate it being more pigmented because I can sheer it out, and anyone who needs more pigmentation can, you know, go all in, can build it up. I'm just gonna really blend that. But the shade is very pretty. And even though when I first applied it, it was like, ooh, pigment, you can see it looks super seamless. I've also recently been just like slowly taking my blush higher and higher up. Now for some multi-chrome magic. Here she is. I feel like, I don't know, we're here to play. I'm gonna pick a little bit of that up on my Singe E01 and just kind of tap that on top of my inner corner just to see if it does anything. Ooh, well. Oh my gosh, the amount of fallout I just got from that. Do you see the sparkles? I have like a sparkle mustache right now. Okay, I might just have to live with that. Oh gosh, I have a feeling I'm not gonna like this. I'm like picking it up and it's definitely looking kind of chunky. Tapping off the excess sparkles are going everywhere, so let's just see. No, okay. It's just not my personal cup of tea because I don't know if you can tell, but it just looks extremely glittery on the skin. And I feel like if I'm gonna go for a multi-chrome highlighter, I would prefer for it to look more like creamy and just like the colors are fine, but I don't necessarily love that amount of sparkle, especially I've had problematic skin recently breaking out a lot, lots of texture. So for me, that's just not like my go-to look. It is pretty, like the shade in combination with the peachy blush. Like I think they look cute together. And if this is your preference, like you might love it. And sometimes I like a sparkly-ish highlighter, but for me, that's just like a little too intense. I would probably just stick to using that on my eyes, like I predicted, but we will go all in today. We will rock it for science. Definitely a very big difference from the Fenty highlighter that I've been wearing every day. Okay, last but not least, let's go into the lip gloss. See what we think. Like I said, super opaque. Kind of has a very soft vanilla scent to it. It's very comfy. It has like a creamy satin finish to it. The shade I think is pretty, but it's not necessarily my favorite. I feel like I would gravitate towards this more if it was a little bit more sheer. I'm slightly regretting saying that it was a soft scent because I feel like on my lips, I'm continuously smelling it. So if that's something you're sensitive to, I would definitely keep that in mind. For me, I feel like the lips and the eyes are doing a little bit too much together. So I think I'm gonna switch to a different lippy and I'll be right back to give you my final thoughts. I ended up going in with Lisa Eldridge Ebonwy just for something a little bit more subtle. But overall, I think this collection is really fun. Like I said, I enjoy that it is a little bit more curated and it's not so big because I feel like sometimes their collections are quite vast with multiple different lippies and single shadows and a palette and face products. I feel like that can be a little overwhelming. But my favorite part of this entire collection is definitely the eyeshadow palette. Surprise, surprise. I think it's beautiful. I really love the shimmers in here. I feel like if you are a neutral lover, you will really enjoy this palette. I feel like majority of their palettes are a mixture of color and neutrals. And yes, we have a few subtle pops here. I feel like overall the vibe of this palette is just very sparkly, very glam, and I can't wait to play with a few more of these like grungy tones right here, but first impression, I'm impressed and I like it. I like it a lot. I think that the shimmers definitely live up to the typical Ensley Reign quality. I feel like they are one of the best indie brands when it comes to shimmer shadows and just getting a lot of bang for your buck. And I know that this is still expensive, but I feel like the shimmers that you get in here are the same quality as what you would be paying for like $15, $20 a piece in single shadows. So if you prefer an eyeshadow palette, but you love those indie special shades, that's where I feel like Ensley Reign really stands out. But of course they have so many different palettes, so many different color stories. I would choose whichever is best for you, whatever you feel like you would use the most. But if you're already an Ensley Reign fan, you're wondering if you should pick this up, I think that depends on you. I always think it depends on you. But is the quality matching? Yes. Is the color story pretty? Yes. Do the mattes blend? Yes. Are the shimmers sparkly and magical? Yes. So overall, I am very happy with it. As far as the multi-chrome highlighter, I think this is probably my least favorite just because it is kind of chunky and it's just not necessarily my preference, but that does not mean it is a bad product. The blush is really beautiful. For $9, I'm not mad at it at all. And then the lip gloss, I think, oh my gosh, I literally already lost it. The lip gloss is comfy. It's a nice formula. And I feel like I could see myself reaching for it with more neutral looks. But because I went so purple and then I added in those peaches, I was just like, okay, I feel like I personally just want to tone it down a little, but that's just me. I really hope that this video was helpful for y'all and I will see you again very soon. Bye.